Vera, I love you so much, Vladimir declared as he prepared to go home. Darling, I love you too, I miss you so much when you leave. Every minute I think of you, how you are here without me. Well, then stay. I would love to, but there are little daughters there, the youngest is only 3 months old. When she grows up, I'll come to you forever. The romance between Vera and Vladimir ignited 6 months ago. It was love at first sight. Oh, how young and beautiful she was. Vladimir was 10 years older, married. He had 2 daughters, Galina and Olga. The youngest was still a newborn. Galina had already started going to kindergarten. After 2 children, his wife had gained weight, she was nervous. One was a baby, the other had just started using the potty. At home, it was chaos, squealing. Vladimir ran away from this bedlam. He helped, but he said, Irina, it's your duty to keep the house. I'm a man, I work and I get tired. Vladimir, let's skip this demagogy. Olga has been suffering from a stomach ache for the 2nd night. And Galina is sick. I've only slept for 3 hours in 2 days, so let me at least have a couple of hours of sleep. And it was your initiative to have the 2nd child as soon as possible. You said the daughters would be friends. They will. But you have to raise them to be friends, so help, at least a little. Vladimir was annoyed, but he sat with the girls. Vera, on the other hand, was like a breath of fresh air. A celebration, not life. A year passed. On Friday, Irina took Galina to kindergarten, took a walk with Olga, and came home. She started preparing lunch and dinner for the children a little. Vladimir went on a business trip for a week. And then the home phone rang. Hello, call Vladimir to the phone. Who's asking for him? It's me, Igor, his boss. Hello, Mr. Igor, but Vladimir has been on a business trip for a week already. What business trip? He's on vacation. He said he's staying home with the kids, his wife is sick. If you're already home and not sick, then he should urgently come to work. We have an emergency. Vladimir isn't here. He left. Understood. Too bad, but goodbye, get well soon. Irina hung up and asked a reasonable question. I wonder what that was and where my husband was being sent on a business trip. Who can I ask? She thought and flipped through her address book. And then she dialed her sworn friend's number. Maria, hi, it's Irina. Hi. Long time no see. Maria, you work not far from my husband's office. I have a very unexpected question. Intrigued. I think Vladimir is cheating on me. Do you know with whom? I happen to know. With Vera from the neighboring department. She's young, 5 years younger than you. She has no family or children. They've been dating for about a year and a half. Thank you, Maria. Irina hung up, sat on the floor by the phone, and cried. It's hurtful, she believed, she loved, and he was like that. By the weekend, Irina pulled herself together and as soon as Vladimir walked in, she said, Vladimir, I know everything about Vera and your relationship. Irina, this is deception. No, this is the truth. And you haven't been on any business trip, your workplace called. Where were you? In the village. I went to relax with Vera. Irina, I love you. And I love the children. So what? Are we going to live like in a harem? And you let me choose. What? You'll choose and I'll wait? Irina, for the sake of the children, let's not part ways. Still. Vladimir persuaded Irina, promising that they would be together and that it was the last time. He held on for a month, but then accidentally met Vera and couldn't resist. There was a divorce, Vladimir started insulting Irina. She was not a woman, but some kind of Klusha. Not dressed up, not going out with her, it's a shame, and she gained weight. The judge looked at Irina and said, let's refrain from insulting each other. The divorce took place. Vladimir paid minimal alimony. He didn't see or care about the girls since the divorce. Galina and Olga cried a little until they remembered, and then forgot what their father looked like. Irina raised them. It was difficult, money was not always enough. And Vladimir married Vera. They had no children. In the beginning of their relationship, she got rid of the baby, and there were no more. More than 20 years passed. Vladimir fell ill. Vera took care of him, but his condition deteriorated. Alzheimer's. For years later, he didn't recognize anyone. He was as quiet as a child. Vera declared him incapacitated and became his legal guardian. Vera called Galina, I'm calling about your father. And who are you? I'm his wife. Your father is very ill. I sympathize. We need to help him, at least send $500 a month from you and your sister. We also suffered, but we never asked him for money. You wanted this happiness, now deal with it yourself. Don't you feel sorry for him? I do. Then help. I don't want to, and I won't. With that, the conversation ended. Vera considered her daughters heartless. No wonder Vladimir left them, with such evil ones, he couldn't help it. 8 years later, Vladimir passed away. Vera applied for inheritance. They had their own apartment. She didn't inform the daughters, why bother? But she was surprised when she found out that the daughters came and applied for inheritance at the notary's office. How did they find out? Vera allocated the spousal share, and half of Vladimir's share was divided into 3 parts, 1/6 each, to them. Vera was outraged and went to court. I asked to declare them unworthy heirs. Because the father was ill, and they did not help with money, did not take care of him, and their share should be transferred to me. The daughters submitted written objections. In the end, Vera was denied, as there was no documented deliberate avoidance of duty towards the daughters. Vera appealed, but the appeal was also rejected. Oh, what am I going to do now? She sighed. We suggest buying out our share from us, or we'll sell it to outsiders. There are such companies. Vera took out a loan and bought it out. Olga, Galina, aren't you ashamed? Asked the very elderly Irina. Not at all. He didn't support us in childhood, he paid next to nothing. Let this be a small compensation for us.